All right, kiddos, this is the notes for Unit 3, assignment number 8. We went over the first two parts there, trig ratios, finding a missing side, and trig ratios, finding a missing angle. If you were absent in class, you're probably going to want to pause the video and get down this information that you missed in class. And the other thing that you missed in class was you were given, or the students were given, let me zoom this way back in. You were given this table right here, this which we called the trig table graphic organizer, and we filled out all of this information. So you're going to want to get this handout from me, and then you're going to want to go back and pause the video at various times or get these from a fellow student, and you're going to want to go ahead and write all this information down because you're going to need that to help you answer some of these problems that we did, okay? But for the video, what we're doing today is we're going to go over how to multiply a monomial with a binomial, how to multiply two binomials, and then how to enlarge an irregular shape and then find the area and the perimeter of that irregular shape, okay? So first of all, multiplying a monomial with a binomial. Here's what I mean by that if you're unsure. A monomial means just one expression. So like, here's a monomial here, 3x. And then let's say I say multiply that with a binomial. Bi means two. So a binomial is going to be an expression that has two different terms, and the two different terms will always be separated by an addition or a subtraction symbol. And in this case, that would be a subtraction symbol. So we have a monomial, which is the 3x. And then we have a binomial, which is the 2x minus 5 part. We're going to multiply those two together. Now, one thing that I want to make sure you understand is that first part, that 3x, does not have to be in parentheses. So if it's not in parentheses, it means the same thing as if it were in parentheses. So here's how we're going to do this. We are going to incorporate the area model to figure this out. And then our answer will be writing the sum of our area model. Okay, so I'm going to draw a rectangle or a square for my area model, and I'm going to take the 3x, the monomial part, and I am going to write that along the side. You could write it along the top, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to write it along the side here. And because it's only one term, I'm not going to divide my area model at all. I'm just going to leave it. Then I'm going to take the 2x minus 5 expression, which is my binomial. I'm going to write that along the top, and because this has two different expressions, then I'm going to divide my area model in half vertically. So really what I have here is I just have two rectangles that I have to find, and then I'm going to use those values to write the area as a sum. Okay, so remember the idea is to find what goes inside each one of these rectangles. I'm going to take its top portion, which is 2x. I'm going to multiply it with its side length, which is 3x. 2x multiplied with 3x is 6x squared. I'm going to repeat that process for my other rectangle. I'm going to take the negative 5. I'm going to multiply it with the 3x. That becomes negative 15x. So my answer is the sum of my area model, which is 6x squared minus 15x. And that's all you have to do in this example here. You cannot combine those two terms together. So that's your answer. So 3x multiplied with 2x minus 5 becomes 6x squared minus 15x. Okay. In the next example, we're going to multiply two binomials together. So remember, binomial means two. So I'm going to take, for instance, 4x plus 6. That's a binomial. There's two different terms in that expression. The terms are separated by an addition sign. I'm going to multiply that with another binomial, and I'm going to make the binomial almost like the first one, but I'm going to make it 4x minus 6 instead of 4x plus 6. Okay, so the way that we do this is we incorporate the area model, and then my answer will be the sum of my area model. Okay, I'm going to take the 4x plus 6 part. I'm going to write that along the side of my area model, 4x plus 6. Because it has two different terms, that means I divide my area model in half horizontally. I'm going to write the 4x minus 6 binomial along the top. You could do it the other way around. It's not going to matter. Because this has two different terms, I'm going to separate it vertically like that. And then I'm going to fill in each part. So I have 4 rectangles to fill in here. Okay, so my top left rectangle, I'm going to multiply 4x with 4x. That is 16x squared. My top right rectangle, I'm multiplying the negative 6 with the 4x. So that would be negative 24x. To get what goes in my bottom left rectangle, I'm going to multiply the positive 6 with the 4x. So that gives me positive 24x. And to get my bottom right rectangle, I'm going to multiply its top value, which is negative 6, with its side value, which is positive 6. Negative 6 multiplied with positive 6 is negative 36. Then I write out my sum. My sum is all 4 rectangles combined. So 16x squared minus 24x plus 24x minus 36. So this is going to be my sum. Now, that would be my answer if I cannot combine any terms together, but you see that I can combine the minus 24x with the plus 24x. As a matter of fact, when I combine those two terms together, they cancel each other out. They're opposites of each other, so they get eliminated. So my final answer is 16, my final sum is 16x squared minus 36. Kind of cool, yet weird at the same time, that 4x plus 6, when you multiply it with 4x minus 6, it becomes 16x squared minus 36. Okay, going down to the next part of the notes, and remember, these part of the notes that we do in the video are always review. So this is information we've done before. So this is going to be, I'm going to enlarge what we call an irregular shape. So I'm going to take a shape which is considered an irregular shape. I'm going to enlarge it, and then I'm going to find the area and the perimeter of this regular shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enlarge, you want to write this down in the notes, the shape below by a scale factor of 3. So that's going to be my scale factor. Okay, it's going to be 3. And here's what my shape's going to look like. And we'll discuss in a second why this is called an irregular shape. There we go. There is my irregular shape right there. Okay, that's a 90 degrees, that's a 90 degrees. And then let me give you some values that we know here. So we know that side is 2. We know this slanted side is 2.5. The bottom part of the shape is 3. And the top part of the shape is 6. Okay, so this is going to be my irregular shape. Now, the reason why it's called an irregular shape is because we don't necessarily know the name of this shape right here. Looks kind of weird to us, but it does have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So let's think of the names of 4-sided shapes. Okay, so if a shape has 4 sides, what type of shape could that be? Well, it could be a square, rectangle, parallelogram, a rhombus, a trapezoid, or a kite. Okay, is it any one of these shapes? Well, the answer is yes. It actually is a trapezoid. And we know it's a trapezoid because a trapezoid is a 4-sided shape where that has 1 pair of parallel sides. And those 2 sides that I just marked in yellow, highlighted in yellow, those are parallel to each other. And I know they're parallel to each other because of these 90 degrees right here. Okay, and those 90 degrees, if those are equal, those are called same side interior angles. If they add up to 180, it means the lines are parallel. 90 plus 90 is 180. It means the lines are parallel. This is a trapezoid. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enlarge this shape. So I'm going to make this shape bigger. And then after I make the shape bigger, I'm going to find the perimeter, the area, and the perimeter of the shape. Okay, so the first thing that I got to do is I'm enlarging it so that it has a scale factor of 3. Now, remember, when you enlarge something, the angles don't change. So the two 90-degree angles stay the same, but all the sides are going to become 3 times bigger. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9. And 2.5 times 3 is 7.5. So this is the shape that I'm going to find the area of, okay? So first of all, let's find the area. All right, so remember to find area of a trapezoid. You're going to take the top base. You're going to add it with the bottom base. This is the formula that works to always find area of any trapezoid. You're going to multiply that with the height of the trapezoid. And then you're going to cut that answer in half. So in other words, you're going to divide the answer by 2. Okay, so let's fill in what we know. Well, the top base, now the bases in a trapezoid are the 2 parallel sides. So the top base would be 18, the bottom base would be 9. The bases, the top and the bottom, are always the parallel sides, even if the shape is like rotated 90 degrees. So the top base is going to be 18. I'm going to add that with the bottom base, which is going to be 9. Then the height is going to be, the height is always the line that connects the two bases at a 90 degrees. So your height is going to be that line right there, which is 6. Okay, so there's your height, is 6 right there. And I'm kind of shading in, so what you know. And then I'm going to divide that answer by 2 to find my area. Okay, so working this out, 18 plus 9 is 27. So that part becomes 27. 27 multiplied with 6 is 162. So I'm going to take 162, and then I'm going to cut that answer in half. In other words, I'm going to divide it by 2. And that's going to be my area. So that is equal to 81. So my area of this trapezoid is 81, okay? That's for the enlarged trapezoid. That has a scale factor of 3. Okay, so now let's go through and let's find the perimeter. All right, so remember, to find the perimeter, you have to add up all the sides. So I'm going to have to add up the 2 yellows with the blue with the green, and that'll give me my perimeter of my enlarged irregular shape, which turns out to be a trapezoid. So I'm going to go 18. I'm going to add that with 6, add that with 9, add that with 7.5. I add all those up. Let's see, 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 plus 9 is 33. 33 plus 7.5 is 40.5. So that's going to be my perimeter of my irregular shape. Okay, so there we go, you guys. You're going to use these notes to help you do the homework problems for assignment number 8.